Welcome to Michael J. Bragman Stadium, a CNS North Stars matchup tonight. My name is Kyle Marshak. Alongside me, my color commentator Owen O'Keefe on the call. A great matchup tonight, as I mentioned. The North Stars 7-1 on the season. The Lady Hornets coming to visit at 2-6. They've struggled a little bit as of late, historically speaking. A very historically successful program, But their lone wins this season versus CBA, 16-9 win at home, and again at home versus Liverpool. They kept that one tight, 16-15. North Stars, Owen, a little bit more successful this season. Their lone loss versus the South Jefferson, a very successful team in a lower division. So they tend to give us some surprises and always fun to compete outside of the league, and they've expanded their schedule this year. But we're here to focus on the matchup tonight. The Hornets can bring certainly some energy to the field. Ava Angelo, definitely one to look at. 35 goals, coming into this game, as if there's absolutely a different at that point. And so candidly speaking, Owen, what are your points to the game coming into this matchup? What does CNS need to do to win, and vice versa for the Hornets?
Kyle, I'll start with FM. They need to keep up that pace. When we spoke with Coach Tuck previously before the game, he said they want to keep up that pace on offense and keep possession on the ball. And then on CNS side, on the defensive side, I'd like to see them contain Ava Angelo using those great defenders they have in Samantha Klein, Molly McGrath, and Allie Cole. Another thing for FM is they got to run their plays efficiently. Like Coach Tuck said, if they don't run the plays efficiently, that's when they start to break down almost. And with CNS, they don't want to force shots. I know a lot of the games I've been here for the CNS girls lacrosse team, they almost seem to be forcing shots, trying to get the quick ones in instead of the smart ones.
Absolutely. You're going to need a lot of intelligence on the field tonight to get through that defense, which is the Lady North Stars. Molly McGrath leading that, as well as Allie Coles, one of the stars in that defense. Really a brick wall to say the least. They simply refuse to give up goals. They're lowest on the season, 4 goals allowed versus West Jenny. So absolutely ridiculous. Looking forward to see them perform tonight. So intelligence on the field aplenty. We'll be back for starting lineups.
please put your right hand over your heart for the sake of our national anthem. We'll be recording the CNS high school chorus singing our anthem tonight.
The league leader in goals, Ava Angelo, to draw versus Fran Tortora, 2 leaders of the squad tonight. The North Stars versus the FM Hornets. North Stars coming into this matchup 7-1. Hornets 2-6, looking to find their way back to 500, just barely keeping their head above water. Opening draw popped up. FN trying to win the ground ball. Still a little battle for it in the midfield. And Owen, I believe, a battle for these ground balls and draws will kind of be the name of the game tonight.
You're right, Kyle. Like as most lacrosse games go, the winner of the draws, the winner of the face-offs in men's lacrosse is usually the winner of the game. Let's see how that plays out tonight.
Yeah, I have a feeling that possession time will kind of be huge all night long. And CNS starts it off punctually in their favor. To the top, pass to the inside. Ball bobbled around X. Out back to the top. Fran Tortora. Inside, that's Molchanov missing. Still a fight for it. The ground ball pops in the air. Some physicality on display inside and deflected away. And a hustle for the ground ball keeps it in. We're starting with some early excitement, Owen.
Sure are, Kyle. I thought that ball was rolling out of bounds. It looked like CNS would have got it back with the get back, but no, they get the ball back with possession.
Pass to the inside and a goal. Some quick action. The North Stars up 1-0. Some quick ball movement on display early on. Owen, 1-0 already.
Yeah, Kyle, like you said, this game's going to be, well, you didn't say it yet, but the game will be fast-paced. Like both sides like to play a fast-paced offense, but also like keeping the possession in their hands. You see their CNS gets one with just under 2 minutes into the game.
As you mentioned, under 2 minutes to go. North Stars already up 1-0. I have a feeling that might be the story of the game tonight. The North Stars already getting some younger faces onto the field. The Hornets, though, not a team you can relax on, and I think they might be undermining the skill of this team, especially with players like Angelo on the squad. The league leader in goals with 35 goals this season, definitely going to tack on a few more tonight, Owen. Speaking of Angelo, at the draw with Fran Tortora. Looks to win it, and they do. Some contact in the midfield, and Angelo will pick it up. And finally, some possession time for the Hornets. Waiting for the whistle to go. Fran Tortora, a player who's always itching to make some contact and get to the ball, especially in the midfield. She's definitely one of those hustle players, a young junior headed out to Stony Brook for some D1 lax. But now for the Hornets. Ionati on the ball for the North Stars. Hornets out to X. Right side with Nicole O'Neill getting her first start and goal tonight. And there's her first save, you could say. Pipes the save is what they call it. Off the crossbar, ricochets around. The North Stars fighting for it in the backfield, and they will clean it up. Bounces out of bounds, and looks that the North Stars will get away with one there. Now the fresh starter, Nicole O'Neill, getting some possession time, flicking that ball upfield. Owen, you and I spoke with Coach Tuck just before this matchup, the head coach of the FM Hornets, and they said that they want to play a high-pressure defense and a fast-paced offense. You see that often, but the Hornets really pressing upfield early on. Whistle in the midfield. Ionati will play on. Pass to the left. There's Molchanov. And now Fran Tortora. The last home game, Owen, that you and I were on the call for, Fran Tortora with a blistering OT goal to win it. And you can tell with her demeanor that she's still hot off the press with that one. Meanwhile, turnover and FM runs it upfield. Hornets out to X. Described as a fast-paced offense, but electing to slow things down here. Perhaps they'll have to do that a lot tonight. The puzzle that is the defense for the North Stars is just one of the most electric defenses in Section 3. North Stars, first in the SCAC Metro. Some movement off the ball for the Hornets. Spinning around, a shot, and in. Nicole O'Neill, the fresh start, and finally giving up her first goal. Some contact beforehand, but now the Hornets tied up, 21 to go.
Kyle, that senior Ava Angelo will make that her 36th goal of the season. She's heading to Johns Hopkins University to play lacrosse there after this season. Great goal there for the Hornets, netting this game up at 1 apiece.
We haven't seen a ton of action from Angelo just yet, but something tells me her speed's going to come into play. Rolling around X, just fakes out the defender, zips around the left side of Nicole O'Neill and puts it in, bottom corner. See some foot speed and stick skills on display early on for both sides. Now Angelo for draw. Fran Tortora ready to go. 1-1 game. In the air. Tortora looking to win it. Forces it out and still a fight for it in the midfield. FM will pick it up with speed. And there is Angelo running it upfield, but the defense popping it out of the stick. That defense will jump on you just when you don't expect it. The North Stars get another turnover in their favor. That's number 14, Sam Klein, making the play on that ball. Definitely one of their leading defenders. Definitely that first face guard for them. She's headed to LaSalle for some D1 lax. Whistle in the midfield. They'll go back to Allie Cole. Iannotti flicks to the left side. Some FM pressure. The ball pops out, but a whistle on the play. That's Jenna Pickard on the ball. Jenna Pickard hasn't had a ton of playing time just yet, but clearly punctual with it as she has 7 goals in the season, Owen.
Right, Kyle. She comes in a lot of the times when CNS gets those larger leads on teams, and now she earns her first start tonight, and she'll sometimes get those quick goals in like they like to do.
Speaking of goals, Molly Mulch trying to make one happen as she goes to the crease, passes back out to Iannotti. FM picks up the ball. Look at that pace upfield. Straight to the crease. Nicole O'Neill might have a play here. And a save. Pops back out. FM still alive. Out to the top of the 8. They'll slow things down again. To the right of O'Neill's defense. Looking to get some action happening. There you see Juliana Cogliandra. Back out to X. Whistle on the play, some confusion in the backfield. FM with a chance to reset. There's Cogliandra. At X. Pass to the inside and in. A quick assist, and now the Hornets with a 2-1 lead.
Kyle, you see that's a great lob pass from behind X from Cogliandro to Ava Angelo, getting another goal on this season. I think we can see why she has 35 goals on the season coming into this game. And that must be one of FM's plays, because Coach Tuck, she said before the game that she loves their girls running through their offense, running through the plays, and that's how they like to score their goals.
Absolutely. That looked like a play by design. At X, they just pop it right through and nets the ball as quick as possible. Nicole O'Neill, perhaps a little bit more inexperienced, you could say, although she looks sharp in goal thus far, but 2 plays right there where the pace of the ball just simply zips by her, Owen. So 18:20 to go, a 2-1 lead for FM. You have to believe this draw is pivotal here for the North Stars to try and get some possession time and tie things back up. You don't want to let FM separate early on. Ava Angelo quickly closing in on 40 goals in the season. She'll only be 9 games in. Whistle on the play, waved off. They'll redraw. Angelo Tortora for the draw. Waved off once again.
One thing I'd like to bring up, Kyle, is in their previous matchup this most recent Saturday, the FM Hornets actually leading the North Stars 5-3 heading into halftime. Then with 6 minutes left to go in that game, CNS held a 10-6 lead, and then the final score of that game was 11-10. The third matchup here for the North Stars and Hornets tonight against each other.
Absolutely great point, Owen. The third matchup for the Hornets and the North Stars this season. And with Coach Prentice's leadership, it's hard to believe that they don't capitalize in every opportunity, especially with a 5-3 lead for the Hornets going into that first half. And as we know, the North Stars yet to lose to the Hornets just yet. North Stars win that draw. Pass to the inside. I believe that's Pickard. Flicked in. And a goal. Just over the head of the goalkeeper. North Stars tie things up.
Correction for you there, Kyle. It's actually the freshman Mackenzie Prentice getting the goal in for the North Stars. Tying this game up 2-2.
Can't forget the coach's daughter putting the goal away and certainly earns all the playing time that she can. The young freshman has certainly earned her minutes. I mean, she's closing in on 10 goals soon enough, Owen.
Yeah, Kyle, and CNS wins their first draw of the game there, first of the fourth. And you see them score a goal very quickly off it. They like to almost try and catch those goalie coming around that left side of the keeper, right side of the keeper, I should say, and just get one in the goal.
Absolutely great display of some ball movement there as Ionati steps off the field. Some more new faces in the midfield for the North Stars. Owen, not a ton in attendance tonight, but still a very loud crowd in support of the Hornets. You might see as that ball pops up on that fifth draw of the match, and the Hornets quickly picking it up. Some pace upfield, straight at O'Neal. McGrath doing a great job of pushing her back. Some contact, perhaps a little bit of a slashing call, and the Hornets will get to reset.
Now, Kyle, if I'm the CNS defense here, I'd like to almost completely try and shut down Angela, even though it's pretty hard to do with being a great lacrosse player she is, and make someone else do something.
Absolutely, you have to force players in the likes of Cogliandro and company to try and make things happen. You can't simply just rely on Ava Angelo. Speaking of Cogliandro, handling that ball, running around X. Some more whistles on the play. Back out to X. There's Angelo. Looking to make a move on the ball. Picking the left side. Spinning around. Look at that defense. Pass to the inside. Some space. Elect not to shoot. Back out to the top of the 8. This is where the Hornets feel very comfortable. Described as having a fast-paced offense. Trying to move the ball around quickly. As 16 strikes the clock, it's a 2-2 ball game. Left side. Ball pops out. Just past the goal of Nicole O'Neal, the Hornets will clean it up. Back out to the top. Some rotation on the inside. Headed towards the crease. They'll go back out. Some more action towards the crease again. Flicking in. O'Neal with the save. Finally, a punctual save from O'Neal, and she looked very sharp on that one. A tough shot to her left side. She turns that net over. 15 and a half to go. O'Neal pushes the ball quickly upfield. The North Stars trying to head right back to the crease to snag that lead, get that go-ahead goal. Both teams with fast-paced offenses so far. North Stars with the ball popping out just as they're heading towards the crease. Some contact on the play, perhaps a penalty opportunity. And it looks like that'll be the case. I believe that is Molchanov on the ball. Right in front of the keeper. Pass to the inside. Flicked. And just through. Top bins. The North Stars grab that go-ahead goal.
Kyle, you'll see there. Oh, sorry. You'll see there Molly, instead of electing just to shoot the ball right away or trying to step in and take that shot off the penalty, she finds Fran Tortora cutting around X, and she just laser one in almost like a passing cut in basketball with a layup.
Absolutely. I mean, assisted by Molchanov, who's been a great feeder of this offense. Tortora, the leading scorer for the North Stars, closing in on, well, that might have been her 20th right there, if not a little bit more. With 19 goals, 18 assists coming into this game, so she'll break 20 for both categories soon enough. Back to Angelo and Tortora for the draw. Trying to get it in their favor, the North Stars do, but the ground ball pops out, and the Hornets just seem to win those ground balls a little bit better. Caliandro picking the ball up.
You remember, Kyle, from this most recent Hornets possession, I said I want to see someone other than Ava Angelo try and do something for this Hornets offense, and Cugliandro tries to go for that little bounce shot or scoop shot down low on O'Neal, and she just misses it left.
Trying to get some variance on their shots. With younger, fresher players in goal, getting those angles will definitely be pivotal. Rolling around the left side, the right side of O'Neal's crease, excuse me. To the top, ripped in, tie ball game. The Hornets with some fast pace, and it's a 3-3 game with 14 to go here in the first half.
You see there, Kyle, on the right, Grace Rain just comes around. She beats Sam Klein off her feet, and then she gets by her, and gets to be able to get the goal in past O'Neal to now at this game at 3 apiece, but just under 14 minutes.
Great play and a good job of spreading the wealth the Hornets are doing. A 3-3 ball game with 14 to go, and Reyna with her 4th goal on the year, only 2 assists, so a little bit more to contribute to that offense. But again, that 4th goal in the season, definitely a contributor throughout those games. And that'll be a great time for the North Stars to take that first time out. Things are all tied up, and the defense struggling early, Owen. What do you think Prentice is saying to her North Stars?
I tell them to try and not go out. It's like if you see a lot on this North Stars defense, Kyle, in previous games, like to almost contain their defense once the players on the opposing team get inside near the crease, and then let them just pass around on the outside. You see there a lot of the North Stars in this game are going out almost too far.
Absolutely. Perhaps replicating the pressure that the Hornets have put on them could certainly help. Too much separation and space for the speed of the Hornets, and they find themselves right on top of the crease many times. If you're just tuning in, a 3-3 ball game. It's literally been back and forth. The Hornets controlling a little bit more of the possession time coming in this. Ava Angelo, the leading goal scorer in Section 3. Not a ton of supporting cast members on her squad just yet, but we just saw a goal from Grace Reyna, number 8. The sophomore has been contributing a little bit, her 4th goal on the season. For the North Stars, Fran Tortora with a couple already, Molchanov assisting. Tortora certainly making a run for one of the players of the year as well. Nearly breaking 20 in both the categories of goals and assists coming into this matchup. Hornet time, I believe they say, as the Hornets break onto the field. A 3-3 ball game, the Hornets looking to apply that fast-paced pressure on defense that they've been doing all night. Owen, you and I spoke with Coach Tuck before the game, and that's exactly how she described it. High-pressure defense, fast-paced offense. And, of course, with Ava Angelo as their league leader in goals, it's tough not to have that fast-paced offense. When they are given that separation, they certainly capitalize. How pivotal do you think that foot speed is going to be tonight? Because I think there's no lack of it on the field for this matchup.
I think, Kyle, whatever team can beat the other opponent, off their feet will be the team that comes out on top tonight. We see FM is currently leading the draws 5-1.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, obviously those pace on the ground balls, trying to win any ball you can is going to be huge, so you see that foot speed's important. But just draws in general, Owen, I mean, that's going to be massive. The Hornets probably, the only reason they're in this game right now is because they've been winning so many draws. The North Stars perhaps capitalizing a higher percentage of the time with their goal-scoring opportunities. But, man, these Hornets are just so dang good with their draws. Ava Angelo, quite the athlete on the field tonight. 14 minutes to go, a 3-3 ball game and a pivotal draw. The North Stars trying to collect some possession time as they've been capitalizing in every opportunity they can. It's just the Hornets. Man, can they win those draws. Pops up in the favor of the North Stars, but Ava Angelo just zips right through and picks it up in the midfield. Quickly upfield. Right side, look at the foot speed of this Hornet. Now at X. Still not applying a ton of pressure in the backfield of the North Stars. There's Caliandro. Out to the top of the 8. There's Angelo. And a ball zips by. Perhaps the first error in the ball movement of the Hornets tonight. They've been very clean with their ball movement. Another characteristic that's kept them in this game. Caliandro with the ball again. Motioning to her players. She wants to get some movement going. A very static offense at times, but certainly enough to get the job done. Rolling in, bouncing ball, and just past Nicole O'Neill. Hornets take the lead. A great job of zipping that ball through with some ball movement. Owen, what did you see there?
It's the second time, Kyle, I've seen Sam Klein get beat off her feet, and that looked like number 16, Lillian Coleman, getting the goal in for the Hornets, like you pretty just said, giving them the 4-3 lead with just 13 minutes left to go in this first half.
Absolutely. You and I were just talking about it. That foot speed's going to be important. And with players like Lily Coleman, the senior, 12 goals, 1 assist coming into this matchup. That's her 13th goal in the season. Tough to not stop players like that. I mean, fairly similar statistics to a lot of the players on this squad for the North Stars, but not nearly as top-heavy considering the Hornets have Ava Angelo. But, man, the supporting cast is coming in to get the job done. 4-3 ball game, Hornets favor. 13 minutes to go and a pivotal draw for the North Stars. Some contact as Angelo falls, trying to make the play. Tortora tripping her up, and Angelo to start things all over again. Owen and you and I's studies of lacrosse in order to prepare for these seasons. You and I learned, in such a sport, it's really one of the only sports where you can score a goal and, win that ball right back with these draws. And it's evident here, the Hornets with a couple of goals in their favor and some draws. Perhaps another one as they roll out to the top of the crease. They flick out to the top, move to the left. Some good pressure on defense, ripping in, and it bounces in. This time over the left shoulder of Nicole O'Neill. Some more ball movement on display, rolling out to the right side, right on top of the crease, and they zip it by. Hornets lead 5-3, 12 and a half to go here in the first half.
If I'm not mistaken, Kyle, that was a senior. Late for the confirmation from our PA, Daryl White. That was the senior number 15, Victoria Horton, getting the goal in for the Hornets, giving them that 5-3 lead. Up 2 goals with just 12 and a half left to go in this first half, Kyle.
Vic Horton, 6 goals, 2 assists on the season now, coming into this game with only 5. And so you and I just seeing more and more of these supporting cast members of Angelo's getting the job done. Perhaps you can't say supporting members because, man, are they helping out. So, of course, Coach Prentice electing to take that time out. Still 12 and a half to go, so barely even a quarter into this matchup. And the North Stars already 2 timeouts down. Prentice looking to talk things over and clearly on the defensive side of the ball. They're not winning draws right now, and the defense not getting the job done. What changes do you think the North Stars have to make?
I think one big thing right now is they need to win a draw. There's been 8 draws so far in this game, and only one has been won by the North Stars. And they still have 3 goals on the scoreboard, but they need to try and get some more draws in there. And also, they're getting beat quickly off their feet. They got to stay more balanced, more in control on their feet when they're on defense. Try not to get beat so quickly by these speedy FM girls.
Now, winning a draw would certainly help their case. Fran Tortora struggled to do so thus far. Angelo, what a stud she is. She's been playing fantastic all night running this offense for the Hornets, but those draws, man, has she done great with those. Angelo, the junior leader of this team, speaking with some other captains on this squad, such as Coliandro. only a freshman, and she's been getting plenty of playing time for the Hornets. Looking forward to seeing how that will develop the next few years.
We see a change here coming in for the draw, Kyle, as the freshman Brooke Molchanoff is sent in.
Another player with some size in the midfield for the North Stars, perhaps a chance to switch things up on Ava Angelo and finally win some possession time. Prentice elects to put in Brooke Molchanoff.
Kyle, I don't see another athlete or another girl on this North Stars lacrosse team other than maybe Victoria Iannotti to match up with that 6-foot frame that Ava Angelo has in there in the draw circle.
Absolutely, and there they go, winning that opening draw. And quickly to her sister, they get the ball upfield. The North Stars finally with an opportunity to bring it back within reach, rolling out from X. They'll go back behind the crease again. A little ball fake action. Still on the right side. No lack of communication on the field tonight for both squads. Owen, you and I can certainly hear it from up here in the booth. And there we go. Bringing it back within reach. The North Stars rolling around the crease, zipping it in. It's a 5-4 ball game with 12 to go here in the first half.
Fran Tortora, Kyle, comes around that side of X, just lasers one in. Past that, FM goalie seems to be Luna Oli, the senior. Just wasn't quick enough on that one as Fran Tortora gets another goal in, making the North Stars just down one with under 12 minutes to go in this first half.
Luna Oli coming into this game, 48 of 142 in her save percentage. As opposed to Nicole Mira, usually the starting goalkeeper for the North Stars, 31 of 82. So a lot less shots really on her in general in the likes of Nicole Mira. That tells you how good this defense is for the North Stars usually. But shots aplenty on Nicole O'Neill, and perhaps because of these draws. And we go right back to it, Brooke Molchanoff at the draw against the league-leading scorer in Ava Angelo. In case you missed it, Fran Tortora bringing it back within reach on a fantastic goal rolling out from X in that previous play. Brooke with her sister Molly there to support it. Brooke still shoving to make some contact and create some separation, but there's her sister Molly picking it up. Molly, a smaller frame, but man, does she get upfield quick, creating some contact and perhaps a penalty opportunity for the North Stars. Just outside the penalty zone, that 8-meter mark, and they'll flick it back to Toria Iannotti to get things going. There's Brooke out to the right side. Now to the inside, flick and some contact, a high stick. And now a penalty opportunity for the North Stars. North Stars with a chance to tie it up. Goes to rip it in. No footwork needed. A 5-5 ball game with 11 to go here in the first half.
See that freshman CBA transfer, Angela Beardsley, with a quick left-handed sidearm shot to give the North Stars the tie up this game. There's under 11 minutes to go. 5-5. Kyle, we got a great game on our hands.
Man, we've seen Tortora do that a couple of times on the penalty, faking that yearn to get to the inside, instead standing there and just ripping that ball in. Fantastic stuff by Angela Beardsley, one of the younger players in this squad, a freshman. As you mentioned, a transfer from CBA. And all of a sudden, it's a 5-5 ball game, nearly a quarter into this matchup. The feeling this matchup might be a little high scoring tonight, Owen.
As do I, Kyle. The times these previous teams met after the final buzzer is 11-10. Now we've already seen half those goals almost for both teams. In the first half, with still 10 minutes to play, almost 11.
Redraw once again. Brooke Molchanoff on the ball. You have to look for Molly. She's been fantastic at winning those ground balls. Pops up again. Brooke fighting for it. Molly's still there, but Brooke wins it. Some slashing in the midfield. Brooke will have a chance to reset for the North Stars. She elects to go out to the left side. Midfield swarming that high-pressure defense on the North Stars. Finally creating some space. Look at that velocity downfield. Some pushing and shoving at X, perhaps stepping out of bounds. CNS with a chance to reset around X. Back out to the top. Ball bobbled around. To the top of the 8 again. Ooh, looked like a slash from behind, but they'll do play on. Now Brooke Molchinoff on the ball. She rolls in left side. She has some height to her. You got to watch out if she gets on the crease. Shoved away. Great job by the defense. Out to her sister, Molly. She's rolling in right side. Some contact near the crease and a penalty opportunity for the North Stars. A chance to extend the lead. Take it in the first place, 9.5 to go in the first half. 5-5 ball game. Molly with the ball.
These North Stars, Kyle, are sure being swarmed by the Hornets when they have the ball. Hornets defense loves to swarm that ball.
They couldn't swarm it this time. Molly rolling in, 9:21 to go in a 6-5 ball game. The North Stars lead.
See there, Kyle Molchinoff off the foul or penalty, whatever you want to call it. Gets in, just runs in and lasers one in, give the North Stars a 6-5 lead.
Molchinoff, fantastic job right there, following Beardsley's goal, on that penalty opportunity. So the North Stars capitalizing after these draw wins. And all of a sudden it's the 6-5 ball game. That's 3 goals in a row in the favor of the North Stars now. And another pivotal draw for the North Stars to continue this momentum headed into the second half. Draw on the inside. Angelo finally gets a win. Molchinoff trying to create some contact as Angelo goes upfield with pace, but instead they pass it to the inside. Hornets have done a great job of evading pressure as they just pass that ball out of bounds. Another little mental gaffe in the backfield as they just pass that one by them. And now the North Stars with a given opportunity.
Kyle, looks like we have a keeper change for the Hornets. Number 99, Hannah Williamson, the sophomore, comes in place of senior Luna Oli. Let's see if that makes any changes for this Hornets defense.
We don't have any stats on Williamson just yet, but you have to imagine an experienced goalkeeper in this storied Hornets program. They definitely start him young over at Fayetteville. That high-pressure defense still on display for the Hornets. North Stars elect to go out to the top. Ooh, look at that spin move from Molchinoff. Now to the inside. Opportunity to split through the defense, and that ball just thrown away as some contact on the inside. Perhaps another penalty opportunity for the North Stars. Man, can they draw that contact on the inside.
Not only, Kyle, can these North Stars ladies draw that contact, they can also execute when they draw that contact and get the fouls. They've scored a few times already tonight in this first half. Off shots like these that we're about to see here. Let's see if Brooke Molchinoff can get another.
Execution aplenty. Brooke Molchinoff inside, ripped just wide, and Williamson gets away with one as a goal evaded, and the Hornets will finally get a possession. After giving a ball up in the backfield, they get away with one. Brooke Molchinoff, with all the height, elects to shoot low. And now the North Stars riding on defense. Hornets push up field. North Stars riding is Iannotti trying to create some contact. Ball pops out in the midfield, perhaps a little bit of a cross check. The Hornets will maintain the ball. Iannotti does not like the call. Oh, and you and I know Tori very well, a very competitive athlete, not afraid to speak her mind.
Well said, Kyle. Tori is not afraid to speak her mind. Not at all.
Certainly an intimidating figure on the field. Iannotti nearly 6 foot, so plenty of size to her and athletic at that. .650 to go here in the first half. North Stars clawing their way back from a 2-goal deficit. Now a 6-5 ball game, so strung 3 goals in a row now. The Hornets a chance to tie things up and stop the momentum of the North Stars. Hornets movement right at the top. Spinning to the inside, I believe that's Caliandro. Back out to the top again. Some great defense on display in this defensive stand for the North Stars, but you can't fall asleep just yet. The Hornets still moving. Right side, ripped, and a save. Nicole O'Neill with a big play, picking up some more possession time for the North Stars. Quickly, the ball upfield, and man, is she hit hard from behind. A little slow to get up, but glad to see her do so. North Stars, a chance to reset, some contact in the midfield. Getting tripped up, the two players are, and no intent in the midfield, it looked like, but even with the slightly different rule sets for ladies lacrosse, no lack of contact we've seen in the field tonight, Owen.
Yeah, Kyle, it's been a very, very physical game from both sides, I should say, in this lacrosse matchup tonight. We're getting under the 6-minute mark.
North Stars still maintaining that 1-goal lead. Some more ball movement on display. Ionati getting tripped up just outside the 8 mark. And a chance to reset.
Kyle, we heard from our PA there, number 10, Sarah Porter for the Hornets, hit with a 2-minute yellow card for that play.
Pivotal at that. Sarah Porter, definitely a contributor on the Hornets roster. Still some more whistles to go as the Hornets maintain possession now. As we hear some chants from the crowd and the stick pops out. We hear some jabbing in the midfield, perhaps getting a little chippy now. The Hornets trying to stay in this game. They know they're facing one of the best teams in Central New York. Some more contact again. Whistles aplenty, Owen.
Very happy whistle, it seems like, at the midfield tonight, Kyle.
Yeah, trigger-heavy whistles in the midfield tonight. We've heard them plenty. The Hornets can't complain. Seem to have switched up their lineup. A lot of younger players in the field now. Out to the top. Hornets rotating as they usually do. A lot of right-handed shooters they seem to favor as Angelo flicks it back. There's Coliandro. Pass to the inside, a stick in the way. The North Stars will pick it up. There's Brooke Molchanoff passing the ball upfield and some space for the North Stars. They have some real estate to work with. Some shifting defenders. There's Fran Tortora. Pass to the inside. Fight for it just in front of the crease. In the favor of the North Stars. A huge penalty opportunity to extend the lead. 3.5 to go. Finally a long stretch without some goals. And the North Stars, Owen, have converted very well on the penalties thus far.
Let's see if Beardsley can rip another one in here. She looked like she's getting ready to go with that sidearm.
She does again, but a huge save for Williamson and net for the Hornets. The Hornets quickly upfield. The clock ticking away. 3 minutes to go. A chance to tie this thing up. The North Stars riding quickly. And now kind of a 3-on-2 opportunity. Top of the crease. They elect to slow things down. Pass to the inside and a goal. The crowd chanting in the favor of the Hornets as they tie things up with 3 minutes to go here in the first half.
We see Angelo again. Kyle, she's been pretty quiet since the start of this game. Netting the first 2 for the Hornets and being relatively quiet. As the second half comes to a close, she gets one right there to make this a 6-6 ball game with 3 minutes on the dot to go in this first half, Kyle. Very, very exciting game we have on our hands.
You said it, Angela, a little quiet, but finding her way back in. She has the hat trick already, and there's 3 minutes to go in this first half. Not the second half, the first. So she has been fantastic, and not only in the goal-scoring opportunities, but some defense in the midfield as well, and, of course, in these draws, which have been very pivotal. And you know, the draws have been quite the story already as Brooke Molchanoff stepping in for Fran Tortora to do so for the North Stars tonight. Tortora struggled early and a lot of possession time in the favor of the Hornets early on because of so. They had a 5-3 lead at one point. Now dwindled down to 6-6 with 3 minutes to go here in the first half, as aforementioned. Whistle blows, ball pops up. Some contact as Angelo trips over the feet of Brooke Molchanoff, and the Hornets will start with another possession off the draw. The Molchanoff sisters not afraid to square up in the midfield, but the Hornets will quickly get the ball upfield. Caliandro looking for some space in front of the crease. Instead, she gets the ball around X. Still some rotating Hornets out in front of the crease. Caliandro looking for some space. Look for the reverse cut. Out to the left side. Spinning, firing, off the post. Perhaps a save. It was tough to see with that angle, but the Hornets will maintain possession. Ava Angelo on the ball now. Now Caliandro. Again, look for that reverse cut around the left side of Nicole O'Neill. Her first start in net tonight. Out to the right side. McGrath and company defending for the North Stars. They've been a brick wall as of late, but the Hornets looking extra sharp. Ball pops out. Nicole O'Neill wins it. But a whistle on the play. Finally, a Hornets penalty. Certainly a huge chance to grab the lead just before halftime. Nicole O'Neill facing off. A huge opportunity to get a defensive stop for the North Stars. Rushing in. Some contact on the play. They'll reset on the penalty. You can hear the crowd hiss in disagreement. Owen, I mean, a smaller crowd tonight, but certainly still a fantastic turnout for this Lady North Stars matchup, and they've been chanting all night. Hornets, rip, inside, top bins, 7-6 lead, 1.5 to go.
Grace Reyna there, Kyle, getting her second goal of the game, fifth goal of the season, if I'm not mistaken, giving the FM Hornets that 7-6 lead. You see there, she comes out of the penalty, just rips one right in. What looks to be the top right corner, then over Nicole O'Neill's shoulder.
You mentioned it, Grace Reyna, the sophomore, putting the ball away, a midfielder for the Hornets. 3 goals, 2 assists coming into this matchup, now 5, looking to get that hat trick, and certainly has an opportunity to do so. So 1.5 to go here in the first half. The North Stars down 1, a 7-6 lead. Owen, you mentioned it before in one of the previous FM Hornets CNS North Star matchups. The North Stars actually had a deficit going into halftime, a 5-3 lead in favor of the Hornets. Still obviously came out with the win as they are 7-1 in the season. Their lone loss to a successful lower division school in South Jefferson. Brooke Molchanoff versus the league leading scorer Ava Angelo in the midfield for the draw. Sticks make contact. North Stars will have to turn that ball over. The Hornets with a chance to start things off red hot again. You have to imagine, Owen, they might want to slow down the pace right here and draw out this clock. But, Owen, you and I spoke with Coach Tuck beforehand. She likes to keep that fast-paced offense even right up until halftime.
The thing with Tuck's offense, though, Kyle, she likes the fast-paced offense, but she doesn't like the first shot. She likes the smart shot, the one that works through the plays, gets the offense going, and then she likes to have the shot taken. Doesn't want one quick. She likes to hold the possession time almost.
So do you imagine the Hornets will kind of hold on to this ball or just take whatever opportunity they see?
I say unless a goal opens up very clearly for the Hornets in these next few seconds or next 30 seconds, I don't see a shot taken until 20 left on that clock.
Can't help but agree. The Hornets trying to just draw away as much possession time as possible for the North Stars if they've been very successful with any second on the ball that they've got. Angelo and company shifting the ball around. Some footwork to the left side of Nicole O'Neill. Ball passed to the inside. Some contact, no call. Out to the top. Caliandro just rips over the top of Nicole O'Neill's head. The North Stars get away with one, but the Hornets will get the get-back call. And, a penalty on the play. Some contact on the inside, and Caliandro's shot, perhaps a stick in the way. Now Caliandro, a huge chance to extend the lead of the Hornets. 7-6 lead, 27 to go. Caliandro inside, pass just over the top of Nicole O'Neill's head. Caliandro using the height, a massive play for the Hornets to extend their lead just before halftime.
Kyle, with that shot there, Caliandro coming off the penalty, goes in, shoots the ball just to the left side of Nicole on the side, paint in that top corner to give the Hornets a 2-goal lead with 25 seconds left to go in this first half. I would expect to see a lot more of that fast-paced offense, trying to get those quick shots in almost.
Absolutely, that fast pace has done them wonders, and now the Hornets finally getting some penalties in their favor and putting that one away. Caliandro, 14 goals, 1 assist coming into this matchup. The young sophomore midfielder finally contributing tonight. She's been a little quiet early on, only contributing in one of the goals previously, but now finally exploding out with a massive goal to extend their lead.
Just to correct you, their cat's actually a freshman. Seems to be that second hand with Ava Angelo on this Hornets team.
Even younger than I thought. Well, she's certainly playing more like a sophomore, but perhaps like a senior tonight, as that was a huge goal going into halftime. But we still have 24 seconds to go, so don't leave just yet. If you're just tuning in, an 8-6 lead in favor of the Hornets. Pop up on the draw. And the Hornets winning those ground balls all night. Pace on both sides. Still some fights for it in the midfield, and once again, this contact is simply giving it to the favor of the Hornets. You can see those midfielders for the North Stars beginning to disagree with these calls with the referee in the midfield. 15 seconds to go. Ava Angelo with some pace upfield, some more contact, and it just seems that these midfielders cannot believe these calls from the North Stars.
It almost seems like Kyle, these North Stars just wants this first half to end so they can get a nice reset, go back into it with some fresh legs almost. Try and create a new game in the second half.
Now the Hornets quickly upfield, clock ticking away. 5 seconds. Ball bobbled on the inside, and there goes the Hornets' opportunity as the sound buzzes. So Toria Inati picks the ball up, runs it upfield, but to no avail. So an 8-6 ball game going into halftime. The Hornets back and forth early on with the North Stars, but with a couple of penalties and draws in their favor, Owen, it seems that they've grabbed back that lead that they had earlier on.
Well said, Kyle. There's a few things I want to talk about. FM's got to keep up with the possession. They've been holding the long possessions when they are on offense, and also they've been sharing the wealth a lot tonight, so to say. Spreading out their goal scoring, getting a lot of assists. It seems, and with CNS, they need to win draws, Kyle. The draw count right now has been 15 draws in the game. FM's winning 11-4, and they also need to stay on their feet and stay tight as well while staying on their feet. When on defense, trying to contain these great attacksmen and midfielders, for the FM Hornets.
Oh, and Ava Angelo seems to be the story thus far for the FM Hornets. 35 goals, 1 assist coming into this, so clearly their goal scorer, the league leading scorer for Section 3 and the SCAC Metro. Number 18 on the field if you need to find her, but hard not to forget about her. Her 6-foot frame, so impressive. The young junior, an attackman who's just been putting all the goals away and running this offense tonight. But really what surprised me, Owen, is that supporting cast. And really you can't describe them as a supporting cast because they've been the main contributors tonight. Other than Angelo, I mean, there's just been some great names out there on the field. Caliandro putting away that most previous goal on the penalty, but you can't forget Grace Reyna, only 1 goal away, from that hat trick tonight. 3 goals, 2 assists coming into this matchup. Now 5 goals, 2 assists. She'll add to both categories. So plenty of names to see on FM, but when we look at the defensive side for the North Stars, I think that's kind of been the concern mainly. What faces on defense do you think you need to see step up soon? Because clearly they've been struggling as of late.
Kyle, I've actually seen a great job for CNS with Allie Cole trying to contain, playing tight defense almost out to the 25, 30-yard line if we're talking football lines on Ava Angelo. But then also Sam Klein and Molly McGrath need to step up and contain those other girls for the FM Hornets and Grace Reyna and Julia Cagliandro. Without forgetting about, there's so many other girls on this FM team that is doing a great job tonight and penetrating that CNS defense and getting the ball inside the net, for the Hornets.
Absolutely. So 5 minutes to go until the second half. Don't leave just yet. An 8-6 ball game for the Hornets. And, of course, 2 defenders for the North Stars to run things over with Coach Prentice. Sam Klein headed to LaSalle, and, of course, Molly McGrath headed to UAlbany. So plenty of talent on the field. Only a couple of many D1 athletes to watch, so don't leave just yet. 8-6 ball game in favor of the Hornets. The North Stars trying to claw their way back in this SCAC Metro matchup. Welcome back to Michael J. Bragman Stadium. In case you're just tuning in, an 8-6 ball game in favor of the FM Hornets, and some great action back and forth early on, but the Hornets separating later in this first half. Plenty of penalties in their favor, and now the Hornets with an 8-6 lead. But Owen, you and I have discussed this beforehand. This is the third matchup of the season between the North Stars and the Hornets. The Hornets not so successful of a team thus far this season, only 2-6. But nonetheless have found their way right into the hearts of the North Stars and keep these games interesting. And, as we mentioned, their third game of the season. The North Stars have been in this position before, Owen. They've been down 2 goals coming into halftime beforehand and looking to switch things up once again. What do you believe they did last time in order to find their way back, and what changes do they have to make this time?
Well, Kyle, in my opinion, I think these girls almost might have went into this game thinking they'd almost have a cakewalk, an easy game, trying to get through the motions and just walk out another W. But that this FM team has proved that they maybe should not be 2-6.
Absolutely. I mean, the Hornets, a team with some very successful games, despite what their record indicates. 2-6. They're 2 wins versus CBA, which is not necessarily a cakewalk in and of itself. And you can't forget a 16-15 win at home versus Liverpool. The North Stars winning that opening draw, which will be huge all night. And now rolling out to the top of the crease, rip inside. The North Stars quickly clawing their way back. Only a 1-goal ball game, 8-7 lead. Hornets still holding on. Tough to tell who put that one away, but Fran Tortora starting things off with some action on the inside, rolling around the crease and ripping over for the cross and on the assist.
Mackenzie Prentice there, Kyle, getting her second goal of the night. Assisted by Fran Tortora. Fran Tortora leads this team in assists. You see there, these North Stars girls, Coach Prentice probably said to them at halftime, we want to come out and make a statement in the second half. You see there 40 seconds in, not even 39. Come in and get a goal to put them down just 1.
A lot of the time, generally speaking, when you see, coaches' daughters on the rosters, maybe it's questionable, but this freshman has certainly found her way right onto the roster and into that starting lineup. I mean, she's going to find herself with 10 goals soon enough in this season. She's been a massive contributor, to say the least, in this offense. Her small frame, she certainly uses her speed to her ability. 39 seconds elapsed in this second half. And already only a 1-goal ball game. The North Stars looking to claw their way back. There's Fran Tortora on the draw. Back at the X in the middle. Brooke Molchanoff previously stepping in for Tortora early on to get those draws going. And Tortora actually winning one of her first draws of the night in that opening draw for this second half. 8-7 lead. Eva Angelo, league leader in goals. She has to be a league leader in draws as well. She's been fantastic all night. Angelo faked out a little bit, missing the ball pop-up, and the Hornets will win it. No, a penalty in the midfield. The North Stars with another opportunity. Molly Mulch upfield. Some action to the inside. Molchanoff trying to find the cross. The assist, excuse me. Back out to X. Tortora, right side, spinning around, firing, and in! Tie ball game, Tortora does it herself. An 8-8 ball game, 23:40 to go in the ball game. All tied up at 8.
Kyle, Tortora is one athlete that I know who, when she goes down, she is not going to go down without a fight. As you see there, assists the first and scores the second, putting these North Stars right back in the game, making it 8-8.
Fantastic job by Tortora right there. A lot of the times, not a massive assist girl, although she does lead the team in that category. But, man, she does it herself sometimes, and we've seen it plenty of times now. Owen, last time you and I were on the call, they actually won in overtime on a Fran Tortora goal, and, man, was she ecstatic to make that happen. So, fantastic job by her to get things done, and she certainly does it herself quite often.
Kyle, what I noticed there from that North Stars offense opening up this second half, they're almost slowing it down instead of keeping that fast pace. Trying to keep that game slower, trying to see if something opens up more if they slow the game down.
Angelo back to Tortora in the midfield, and On that draw, the Hornets finally winning one. Some huge possession time. The North Stars, in case you missed it, starting off hot off the press with 2 goals in a row. Pass to the inside, looking for perhaps a cutting player for the Hornets, and the North Stars will pick that thing off. Now the Hornets riding. Oh, and again, some fantastic pace upfield from a lot of these midfielders for the North Stars.
Both these teams have very, very quick midfielders off the foot, which are able to get the ball up the field quick. And you see here the North Stars slowing the offense down again.
Another woman cutting around. A little bit of a screenplay out to the top, but still pushed away. Iannotti at the top. Out to Molchanov. Pass to the inside. Turn around, and another assist for the North Stars. They take the lead 9-8 with 22.5 to go here in the second half.
Kyle, looks like there Beardsley came around, found herself in the middle on the top of the crease, and she's fed the ball from the outside and rips one in. She's got a very quick shot for just being a freshman in high school.
Beardsley has been fantastic all night. One of those younger players alongside Prentice and contributing to that offense. 10 goals, no assists just yet coming into this matchup, but a couple on the night now. Beardsley has just been fantastic. And Owen, one part of her game that's been very impressive thus far is off of penalties. A couple now that she scored off of penalties. So nearly at that hat trick. If not, she's already got it. We don't have our statistician in the booth tonight, but still the old brain trying to get the job done up here in the booth, Owen. Certainly tough, too, as it's been a high-scoring matchup, breaking double digits nearly for the North Stars with 22 to go in the second half. Tortora Angelo in the midfield for the draw. The Hornets certainly need a win. A little bit of contact again, and this time in the favor of the North Stars. Looks like Tortora getting clipped with a high stick a little bit. She'll brush that right off. Upfield to Iannotti. Beardsley. Out to the backfield. Some patience from the North Stars. Trying to read this defense. Pass to the inside. Molchanov fighting for it. Some contact both ways. The call will be in the favor of the Hornets. Off the whistle, the Hornets pressing high pace, upfield. They try and move the ball quickly upfield. That pass sails out of bounds. North Stars there to collect it up. Quickly upfield, Beardsley. Back out to the top. That's Molchanov on the ball. Back out to Beardsley. Over Molchanov to Molly. Too many Molchanovs on this field tonight. Ooh, some contact out at the top. I believe that's Caliandro establishing her defense, and Molly Molchanov with a chance to reset. Pass to the inside. Iannotti looking for an opportunity. Williamson turns it away. The Hornets quickly upfield. The North Stars riding now. Some pace through the midfield. No one to stop her just yet. North Stars riding to the left of Nicole O'Neill's crease. Now out to the right. Hornets electing to slow things down. Out to X. They'll slow things down once again. Caliandro and Horton trying to make things happen with some movement at the top. Pass to the inside. Caliandro will win it as that sails out of bounds.
Notice a lot, Kyle. FM, if they're not going to score the ball on offense, they always seem to get the get back as the balls are going out of bounds.
Certainly a heads-up team. Absolutely. Don't mean to cut you off there, but yeah, certainly a heads-up team. Excuse me. Top of the crease once again, but back out to the right side. Angelo didn't see an opportunity. Caliandro looking for some space. Slowing things down. Some pressure in the backfield. The North Stars doubling Caliandro. They'll go back out to the top. Moving the ball around. Right side. No shot opportunity. Pass to the inside. Ripped. The Hornets tie things up. 19 to go. A pivotal goal and a statement one at that. The Hornets clawing their way back, Owen, the ball movement has been fantastic both ways all night, but the Hornets just getting the better of it, and now it's all tied up.
You saw there, Kyle, a lot of the time Angelo was trying to go one-on-one on that possession, and then she'd get stopped. Great defense there from Jada Toma and the supporting cast on defense. And then she signed herself in the middle, just around the crease, and she's fed inside, and then rips one in to get this game a 9-9 score.
Well, I can't blame you for stuttering. Sometimes it feels like we just can't keep up with the pace of this game. It's back and forth, and certainly could end up to be one of the highest scoring matchups of the night. 19 minutes to go and 18 goals combined already. 9-9 ball game. Who expected the Hornets to just keep themselves in this game? 2-6 coming into this matchup. They could certainly leave 3-6. Team that's just trying to keep their head above water and find their way into sectionals. The North Stars, not necessarily a massive worry with that right now, but the Hornets certainly looking to do so, as Ava Angelo's just been fantastic all night. So as the lights flick on here at Michael J. Bragman Stadium, a 9-9 ball game in case you're just tuning in. Ava Angelo and company have certainly kept their heads above water, as mentioned beforehand, and the offensive production, tough to stop. The North Stars defense struggling more than usual. Sam Klein and company just not getting the job done. Allie Cole has been fantastic. Certainly an underrated face guard on the defense for the North Stars tonight. And who could forget Molly McGrath? Nearly 18 minutes to go. The Hornets still moving the ball around at the top of the 8. There's Caliandro. Rolling out right side. She sees some space. Pushed back out. Some great defense on display right there from Klein. Pass to the inside, to the left side, back out to the top. The Hornets using a lot of off-the-ball movement tonight, Owen. The foot speed on display for both teams. Pass over the top, deflected away. North Stars will pick it up. Quickly some pressure from the Hornets. That's kind of their name brand style. A little bit of a buddy pass out to the midfield from Nicole O'Neill. Ball deflected in the midfield, but the pass still finds the net of Brooke Molchanoff, Straight to the crease and in! Unbelievable. Look at the pace, straight to the net, and she zips it by. Williamson struggling in net as of late, and the North Stars with a 10-9 lead.
Kyle, you see there on the defensive side, you see them trying to get that lob pass over to Ava Angelo, Try to tap one in, and then you see the North Stars come away with it. Maya McGrath gets it to Brooke Molchanoff, who goes almost coast to coast to bring that ball up and give the North Stars a 10-9 lead with 17 minutes, 24 seconds left to go in the second half.
17:24 to go, as my colleague Owen just said. Only a 1-goal lead for the North Stars. Not enough to get away with it just yet. The Hornets have been fantastic all night. Ava Angelo, Fran Tortora in the midfield for the draw. Angelo electing to get in the front side of Tortora for this draw. And the North Stars win it. Molchanoff, upfield, inside, ripped, and a massive save for Williamson. Hannah Williamson, the young sophomore, stepping in at goal, and a massive save to stop the momentum of the North Stars, and now an opportunity for the Hornets to kind of respond. Ball pops out in the midfield. Hornets pick it up. They've won plenty of ground balls. Pass to the inside. Look at the pace. The Hornets blistering upfield, and all of a sudden it's tied up. 17 to go, a 10-10 ball game. Owen, what did you see there?
See, that Hornets player came in and just ripped one great coming in, trying to make a statement there to tie this game up, and they did. She did there, excuse me. Getting the confirmation there is number 15, Victoria Horton, coming to this game at 5 goals and 2 assists on the season. Adds another one to that list. I want to say it's their second of the game. Proven to be a great key part of the Hornets offense alongside Ava Angelo.
Absolutely, Horton, a key part of the offense, just as Owen said. And the beauty of this matchup tonight is there's just so much talent across the board. Horton not headed for some D1 lacks to Syracuse, but is headed to Syracuse, so no lack of scholarly presence on the field tonight, no lack of academics, but you can't forget how many D1 commits there are on the field. One for the Hornets, of course, Johns Hopkins University to receive Ava Angelo, this league-leading scorer for the North Stars, or for the Hornets, excuse me. But speaking about the North Stars, they have 4 D1 athletes headed out following this year. Meanwhile, some action in the midfield after the draw. The Hornets pick it up. A huge possession here. Owen, how important do you think this possession time, one off these draws, will be? You know, how paramount to the success of that will these draws be down the stretch with only 16 minutes to go for both squads?
Well, starting with draws, CNS is starting to even out the draws. They're now 13-9 on the game. And Kyle, I think the Hornets have to keep up. If they want to win this game, they got to hold on to possession time. That's what gave them that big lead early, and it's probably what will give them the propulsion to the victory in the end of this game.
Every second they can get. Meanwhile, a whistle on the inside, perhaps a penalty opportunity for the Hornets. The Hornets, a lot less penalty opportunities thus far, a team who can certainly execute nonetheless, though. Whistle blows, rip, low corner, an 11-10 ball game. The Hornets grabbing the lead back right from the North Stars' grip.
Kyle, you see the Hornets coming out of that penalty, just rips one in. Like I said, that's a bit. They needed a statement here again in the second half, trying to give them the lead over the 7-1 team in the CNS North Stars, and they do. Trying to propel them to a victory and a 3-6 record, just trying to stay alive in the sectional play.
Absolutely. I mean, that is a huge statement goal right there. I can't help but agree, Owen. In case you're just tuning in, this is Kyle Marshak on the call with Owen O'Keefe, my color commentator, who's been fantastic all night, providing us the info right there. I mean, that's just a great way to look at it, Owen. A statement goal is the Hornets just keeping themselves right in this ball game with one of the most successful teams in Central New York. Stephanie Prentice stepping in at head coach. This is her first full season, and man, quite the job she has done. Previous full season at least for the North Stars, they went 1-15. All of a sudden, only one loss in the record. Meanwhile, Molly Molchanoff inside, and she ties it up. The pace-up feel is just fantastic.
Now, Kyle, I've been thinking to myself throughout this whole game that the Molchanoffs in general, Molly, Brooke, and then Victoria Knight have been relatively quiet. We see there Molly Molchanoff rips one in to make this an 11-11 ball game. I've said it all night, Kyle. I'll continue to say we have a great ball game in front of us.
Absolutely, an 11-11 ball game, just as you mentioned, and the Molchanoffs beginning to break out a little bit. Brooke has been all over the place, stepping in for Ionati for some of the, or not Ionati, excuse me, Fran Tortora for some of the draws in the latter half of that first half. She's been fantastic all night. Still Tortora in the midfield, Ava Angelo for the Hornets. 15.5 to go, an 11-11 ball game. Just a plethora of different athletes to see on the field tonight who have contributed in some way. Nearly a massive win for Molly Molchanoff using what little height she has, and she does pick up the ground ball, excuse me. She'll flick it quickly upfield. Man, look at the foot speed on display there. Spinning around, creating some space at X. There's Beardsley. Now rotating the ball back out top. That's Ionati. Out to Molchanoff. Prentice inside. There's Tortora. Tortora shifting around. Inside. She has an opportunity. Rips. And North Stars take the lead. The Tortora speed has just been on display all night. Owen, what'd you see there?
I see Tortora just slowly breaking down that FM defender, trying to get her in a one-on-one, and she does. Breaks her down, gets by her, and rips one to that top corner. And that is what it looked like, giving CNS that 12-11 victory. See, you usually like to see CNS try and have Tortora hang out on X and have the cutters come through, and that's how they get a lot of their goals alongside with the penalty shots. But we're seeing here a lot of almost ISO ball from this North Stars offense tonight. But hey, they got 12. They're up 12-11 with under 15 minutes to go in this game.
Absolutely. Whatever they're doing is working for right now as the North Stars winning a little bit more possession time with those ground balls in the midfield after the draws. And now with 14:46 to go, they pound away that last goal. Tortora doing it herself, just as you mentioned. Perhaps some of those solo jobs have just been working for the North Stars. The ball movement not necessarily on display as they usually are. Now could you forget Molchanov winning that ball in the midfield, but not in this play. The Hornets winning the draw, but they pass it away in the midfield. A huge gaffe. Just passing it by their midfielders.
I'd like to see Ayanati here. Kyle, I mentioned she's been relatively quiet in this game. See if she can get something going in this second part of the second half.
Ayanati to Beardsley. Beardsley passing out to X. Back out to Fran Tortora. Again, we've seen this before. Tortora can certainly do it herself. Rolling out, right side. Pass to the inside. Trying to target Beardsley or Molchanov, it seemed, but it zips right by. Too much pace on that ball. The Hornets pick it up in the midfield, looking for an opportunity to tie things up. Quickly upfield. Hornets, top of the crease. Pass inside, flicked. Inside, just over the net. Nicole O'Neill couldn't save it herself. It's a 12-12 ball game. 14 to go here in the second half.
Angelo coming in quickly behind that midfielder who brought the ball up, and then she comes in, catches that pass, and rips one. As soon as almost seems like the ball barely touched her stick. Just ripped it right away and got the goal in for the Hornets, giving them a 12-12 ball game.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the field, Luna Only, stepping in for Hannah Williamson, who's had her fair share of decent saves, and O'Neill trying to get one right there, but just too much pace as they find themselves with a player from the Hornets right on top of the crease once again. Oh, and this is as back and forth as it gets. What are the odds we see another OT goal here?
Have we seen another OT go, Kyle? I will not be mad if this game goes into sudden death.
Absolutely. I mean, with Tortora being that go-to player, I wouldn't be scared either. Meanwhile, Molly Molchanov, that is, winning the ball in the midfield once again. Quickly upfield. That's Ayanati, I believe. Massive save. Off the pipe or a deflection from the goalkeeper, Oli, and it pops out of bounds. Trying to fight for possession, The Hornets get it. Man, that was a race for the ball right there.
Peyton Baker looked like was on the shot there. The senior doesn't get many minutes when she comes in. She tries to be effective. Tries to grip a goal in there for the North Stars, but unfortunately it bounces off the pipe is what it seemed. The Hornets get possession back,
Good observation right there. Peyton Baker, a little bit smaller of an athlete, so it's tough to read her numbers for sure. But stepping in and nearly getting a massive goal right there. Peyton Baker only 1 goal, 1 assist on the season, so she contributes when she wants to. Now out to Molchanov. $13 to go. 12-12 ball game. The North Stars slowing things down. The Hornets with a chance to reset. Still establishing that pressure, though. Just as Coach Tuck talked about, that high-pressure defense. Brooke Molchanov checking in and immediately with the ball. She's been on the ball plenty tonight, Owen. Back out to Beardsley.
What I'd like to see here, Kyle, from the CNS offense, almost let the FM Hornets make their own mistakes on offense, not have CNS force FM to make the mistakes.
Absolutely.
Let things open up and just let the CNS, just let the magic happen almost, I'd like to say.
Peyton Baker drawing some contact in the backfield, On the whistle, rolling out to X, right side. Passing to the inside. Cutting man couldn't collect it. Some more contact, and this whistle falls in favor of the Hornets. The North Stars can't seem to believe it. And Owen, I'll say it again, not a massive turnout for this matchup tonight, but this crowd is loud.
Very loud, Kyle. You see there, Fran Tortora did not seem happy with the way that foul went on her, is what it seemed like. See the Hornets getting the ball back here.
Rolling up the right side. The Hornets really get upfield with pace. This ball just passed over the top. The Hornets will retain possession, it seems.
CNS will get it back.
Yeah, North Stars will collect it back, Nicole O'Neill, the young freshman, getting her first, not freshman, excuse me, but getting her first start in net tonight, the junior. Nearly ranging out to make a play on that ball, but instead letting it roll out. And now quickly upfield. North Stars again slowing things down. Owen, perhaps a more of a mentality from the North Stars to just find the opportunity when they can, similar to the Hornets.
Yeah, Kyle, what both sides have seen from, it's like their offense changes like throughout the game. Like sometimes they'll have a little stretch where they'll go for slow offense, let things open up. And then a lot of times it's the quick ISO ball that gets them the goals as well.
Molchanov cutting, trying to create some space in the inside, but more contact again.
Another thing, Kyle, what I'm hearing from these FM Hornets fans, almost like FM's got the home game with how loud I'm hearing their parents in comparison to the CNS parents. But hey, we're in Michael J. Bragman Stadium.
Absolutely a huge turnout from both squads. A penalty opportunity for the North Stars. To the top of the crease, ripped over the top. A whistle on the play. We hear some chirping from both sides. The goal will be disallowed, but tough to tell what the call is. Some contact on the play, still some confusion on the field. And they do allow the goal. Daryl White stepping on the call. Excuse me for the confusion. A 13-12 ball game, 10 minutes to go. Oh, and a lot of contact on that play. We saw a flag on it, but they still allow the goal in favor of the North Stars. And they get away with one right there and a timeout now.
I see here Tortora was just talking to the official. They're trying to confusion what just went on with that play. But looks like the North Stars will retain that goal like we just said. Give them the 13-12 game. Tortora just broke down that FM defense once again. Oh, she broke it down, got fouled, and then went in and got plummeled, it looks like. Went down to the ground, but hey, was able to finish, get the North Stars that 13-12 lead.
Kind of a play-on-play right there, and Tortora got mauled on it, to say the least. A lot of sticks in her face, but she still puts it away. Tortora using all of her frame right there to put that goal away, and as I've mentioned before, she likes to do it herself sometimes. Still with 18 assists coming into this game, so the leader in assists for the North Stars. No lack of that. In case you're just tuning in, 10 minutes to go, a 13-12 ball game in favor of the North Stars. Tortora putting away that last goal and another penalty. Tortora, I've nearly lost track of how many goals she's put away tonight. Around 5 or 6, going for that double hat trick. She got that hat trick quickly in that first half. Starting a little quiet in the midfield, though, with those draws. Nonetheless, the North Stars earning back some possession time. Molly Molchanov and Brooke Molchanov, fantastic at winning those ground balls and getting the offense going. Meanwhile, on the Hornets side, I mean, there's been a lot of players to feature, but who do you think's been most important for the Hornets tonight, Owen?
Now, Kyle, the obvious answer here is obviously Ava Angelo, but I'd like to say the freshman Julia Cagliandro, has been very, very crucial. And the Hornets staying into this ball game, only down one with 10 minutes left to go in this ball game, I should say.
And why is that? Is it her footwork, her ability to kind of run the offense, you know, her movement off the ball? What would you say kind of has kept the Hornets in the game?
I'd almost say, Kyle, that her ability to step up and lead that offense when Ava Angelo is taken out of the game by these CNS defenders, she stepped up, got a few goals, a few assists. There's some key plays for the Hornets tonight.
Absolutely hard to disagree with that. Cagliandro with a couple of contributions on the field already, a couple assists, couple of goals. Only a few of many, though, a 13-12 ball game. So the team's combining for 25 goals tonight. And Owen, still 10 minutes to go. What do you think has contributed to this ball game to make it such a high-scoring affair?
I think that these attacksmen on both sides are outplaying the outstanding defenses that both teams have. And that's why this ball game is a total of 25 goals with still 10 minutes left to go, this 50-minute ball game.
Absolutely. Would you say the defenses are kind of underperforming, or is it really just the attackmen getting the job done?
I think I'm seeing very similar defensively skill-wise from, at least I've never seen FM play, unfortunately, Kyle, but CNS-wise, they've been playing the same defense I've seen them play all season long. And FM's just doing a great job of breaking that down and getting by them. It's put up 12 goals so far.
Tortora fighting on the draw. Ball pops up. Cagliandro winning it. Rolling out the right side. She'll elect to slow things down for the Hornets. Again, the Hornets only down 1 goal. Little pass to her counterpart in Ava Angelo. Angelo, right side, flicks in. Hornets goal. Nicole O'Neill almost looking confused. Oh, wow, it's off the pipe. Excuse me, the ball bouncing off the net. I apologize for the confusion. Just so much pace in Angelo's stick, and it's so tough to tell on the confusion this game is with the jumble of athletes in front of the net. And it's still a 13-12 ball game, excuse me. The ball struck the net from the angle we saw, but no goal on the play. 9 minutes to go. Still a 13-12 ball game in favor of the North Stars. Iannotti with the ball. Angela Beardsley across the net, as well as Mackenzie Prentice.
Sorry about that, Kai. I just want to throw in. It seems like the North Stars are almost stalling their offense, trying to slow the game down as
they put another goal away. Rolling out to the top, Iannotti does it herself this time. It's a 14-12 ball game, 8.5 to go. So a lot of athletes in the field for the North Stars just doing the job themselves tonight, Owen.
Correction there, Kyle. That was Fran Tortora. Iannotti is actually on the sideline currently. Tortora getting what seems to be her 3rd or 4th goal, maybe 5th of the night. Almost, she's being a great leader as just a junior for this CNS girls lacrosse team, giving us that 14-12 lead with 8.5 left to go, Kyle.
The young junior just simply getting the job done tonight. She's been on varsity for years, counting now, and 8.5 to go. Who knows how many goals she's put away tonight? Again, without that statistician, it's very easy to lose track, especially with a player like Fran Tortora who scores so often, Owen.
Kyle, there's been 26 scored goals in this game. You think we'll be able to keep track of each player without a live statistician? It's very difficult.
God, imagine when we go into OT. I might succumb to the stress, Owen. Ball still bouncing around. Tortora, struggling to pick it up. She finally does win that ground ball quickly upfield. Some contact. Beardsley spinning around as Williamson comes out of goal. North Stars still pick it up. Excuse me, that's not Williamson in net for the Hornets just yet. We'll get a call on who exactly that is. For now, Tortora back out to the top. I believe that's Peyton Baker fighting for that ball right there. As it zips over her head, a small target to hit from distance. Spinning around, I believe that's Molchanoff trying to get that ball to the top of the crease. Fighting for the ball in the backfield. The North Stars will maintain possession. To the right of the crease. Back out to the top. There's Molchanoff. Right side. Turning around. Back out to the top again to her sister. And a call on the play. And it looks like it will be a penalty just inside the 8-meter mark. And a massive opportunity for the North Stars to extend their lead. Finally, Owen, the North Stars getting in a bit of a rhythm. If they put this goal away, certainly in a great spot. Molchanoff inside, rips just past the net of the Hornets. A 15-12 ball game, 7 to go.
Kyle, we recently saw Molly Molchanoff get one of those goals earlier in the game. That exact same way, middle of the 8, just getting off the penalty, and rips one in past the goalie. Now CNS with that 15-12 lead. Kyle, this is a great game we have in our hands. CNS starting to pull away, getting in that rhythm like you said.
Huge play right there. Molly Molchanoff on the penalty, as you said, just putting it away for the 2nd time tonight. History repeats itself. How often do you think we're going to find Molchanoff at that penalty position with 7 minutes to go?
I think it'll be happen very more often, at least not just Molchanoff. Many other CNS players finding themselves at that penalty mark, as we've seen a lot this game. One thing I like to bring up, Kyle, is that at one point in this game, CNS was losing the draw 7-1, and now we see with 7 minutes left to go in this game, the draws are 15-13, as CNS has gained that three-point lead.
15-13 are the draws, and the score 15-12 in favor of the North Stars. A little observation of my own. I can crunch some numbers too, Owen. But as you said, a great observation to say the least. Those draws have been absolutely pivotal all night. Tortora struggled early on. You know, Owen, what changes do you think Tortora's kind of made later on to kind of adjust to Angelo's draw style. Angelo's changed it up a little bit, getting to the front of Tortora for those draws, but nonetheless, Tortora winning a little bit more often as Brooke Molchanoff steps off that position.
Kyle, it almost looked like in the beginning of the game that Tortora was trying to physically win that draw herself, trying to out-jump, out-reach Angelo, but she will not be able to do, being almost 4 inches shorter than that opposing player. And then now we see her just trying to getting physical with Angelo, trying to get that ball, get a ground ball, let the speedy, short Molly Molchanoff go in and get that ground ball for herself, and let have CNS win that draw and get them the ball on offense.
Can't help but agree. I mean, Molly Molchanoff has been fantastic at winning those balls in the midfield. And so as the clock ticks away in this timeout that Coach Tuck takes for the Hornets, what changes do you think she's discussing with her young leaders and trying to claw their way back down from this 15-12 deficit?
One thing I'm seeing from their offense in this later second half, Kyle, is that they're almost being too quick with it, not letting the plays develop, not letting the offense run through, trying to almost force shots and taking quick, maybe almost silly shots. That's not going to get them back in this game. Now there's 7 minutes left to go, down 3. Then on the defensive side, I'd say just stop committing penalties. We've seen CNS probably score almost half their goals off penalties, which they seem to do quite often.
Can't help but agree. I mean, the North Stars, one of the best teams in the section at drawing those penalties, especially with smaller players like Molchanoff, Beardsley, and Prentice getting to the inside and drawing that contact. Man, those penalties have been fantastic in the favor of the North Stars all night. Coming out of the draw, Tortora and Angelo have been facing off of the draws almost all night. As I mentioned beforehand, Brooke Molchanoff stepping in briefly. And man, was that pivotal. The North Stars winning plenty of those draws. 7 minutes to go. As the clock ticks away, the pressure falls on the shoulders of the Hornets. Perhaps their wings crumbling under the pressure. Ball pops out. The Hornets quickly win it. Some more contact in the midfield they'll play on. Rolling up the right side. That's Tortora trying to stop things as they ride, but the North Stars now falling straight back into the defensive. Caliandro back out to Angelo. Angelo for Max. Trying to find some space. Once again, passing out to the top. There's number 13 for the Hornets, rolling to the inside. Nearly had some space, but got cut off. As we hear some of the players saying all right-handed. Communication aplenty all night, Owen.
Kyle, we've heard lots of voices made from the stands, field, and sidelines throughout this entire game, trying to help both these teams better understand the game, try and give them a different visual.
Well, it certainly helped me. I'm not necessarily an expert on lacrosse just yet. Ooh, ripped to the inside. Man, they put another one away. The Hornets with a massive shot. That's number 21, Holly Dano. 5 goals, 1 assist coming into this game, but finally a contribution as she puts a massive one away.
That was a great shot, Kyle. She comes down speedy around that Nicole O'Neal's left side, our right, from our viewing perspective, rips one in. Puts the Hornets just down 15-13 with this game. 5 minutes, 50 seconds left to go in the ball game.
Just what the doctor ordered, the Hornets putting one away. The Hornets only 2 goals down now. How pivotal is this draw right here for the Hornets to win this and earn some more possession time, Owen?
Now, Kyle, if I think Angelo gets this draw over Tortora here, even gets the ball out of that big yellow circle and out of that draw circle, and gets the Hornets the possession, they get another goal here, I think this game is going to be a very tight one coming down to that final buzzer.
Absolutely. You know, I think big yellow circle kind of fits better.
Big yellow circle sounds better than draw circle, Kyle?
Who needs this lacrosse vocabulary? So true, my cameraman Drew Williams says to my left. As there's more and more buzz in this stadium, Michael J. Bragman Stadium, as Ava Angelo wins that massive draw that we were just talking about. But look at that pressure from the North Stars, doubling Angelo, the Johns Hopkins commit. She'll have to fall off to Caliandro, handling at the top. Back out to Dano. Now Caliandro. Trying to find some space. Doubling again. The North Stars have been very tactical in their defensive efforts. Ball nearly pops out. Hornets still pick up the ground ball with some size to it. To the top. deflects away. A massive save for Nicole O'Neill. But she passes it just outside. Can the Hornets clean things up?
Kyle, I'd like to say that's the most important save of the night here from O'Neill. As of right now, you see the player had a one-on-one with a goalie for the Hornets, and Nicole O'Neill makes a great save to get the North Stars the ball back with just under 5 minutes now in the second half.
Absolutely, a massive play. And I was just about to say the Hornets riding, but now they pick up the ball. This ball has just been pinballed throughout the midfield and the defensive for the North Stars, and still pinballed around. Who will get the grease pig? That ball just refuses to stay in the sticks.
Now, Kyle, I can't help but notice and mention, we've seen lots of subbing, at least I've noticed from this North Stars end. Every player except goalies have been subbed in and out of this game.
Absolutely. As the action increases, 4 minutes to go, you're going to get as many faces on the field as you can to add some variety to that offense as Caliandro dumps the ball off to Angelo. Not Angelo, excuse me, but still the ball bobbled in the backfield. Some contact. The Hornets will still pick it up. No call on the play. Rolling around right side. O'Neill with an opportunity to make a save. Pass to the inside. Angelo picks it up, but she's tripled. Look at the pressure from the North Stars defense, Owen.
Kyle, if I'm the North Stars defense here, if we get a stopper, I'd almost try and take this game super slow, try and straighten out these last 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Don't give the Hornets a chance to come back.
Absolutely. But what do they have to do to get a stop in the first place? As that ball is ripped just wide of Nicole O'Neill's net. And it appears the North Stars will win the possession.
Looked like Angelo was there for the get back, but the official will give the ball to the North Stars.
Perhaps Nicole O'Neill trying to get that ball out in time as she makes another mental gaffe in the backfield, passing that ball over to Sam Klein, but tipped away by Angelo's stick.
I think that was Mira Lieberman there.
Lieberman, excuse me.
Very speedy there on
Who
her
knows
feet.
at this point? The action on the field is just so hard to follow, especially with the pace of these players, Owen.
They all move so quickly, Kyle. It's hard to tell one speedy athlete from another.
Can't help but agree, Owen. Anything that can help my case in this broadcast because it's just so hard to see these numbers. North Stars with the Hornets riding. Molchanoff to slow things down. Now out to that team leader in Fran Tortora, the junior captain, with some stick skills. To the inside, she has some real estate. Excuse me, to the top of the crease. The defense pushes her out. She elects to slow things down. Now to Molly Molchanoff, the Mount St. Mary's commit, looking to get the job done as the clock ticks away, still drawing away that clock. There's Beardsley, I believe, passing out to Molly. Molly finding Fran, and now that's Brooke Molchanoff, perhaps a future D1 commit herself with quite the collection of numbers so far. Molly Molchanoff, some foot speed, getting past the defenders now. Back out to Fran. They just continue to drain this clock. Ball pops out. Ooh, a hard stick from behind. You have to hope Fran gets up, and she does. Man, Fran is really good at drawing that contact, but sometimes not to her favor, as that was a rough hit from behind right there.
Now, Kyle, what I'm seeing with this North Stars offense as this game is coming to a close, it's almost like they don't want to take a shot. You saw a few times there, Tortora had one. She could have taken the shot, and it's almost like the only shot they want to take is if it's a true one-on-one with that goalie as they continue to draw out this FM offense.
Absolutely. So with 1.5 to go, the Hornets getting a little desperate. You have to imagine that keeper might leave soon and draw that double. But as you hear the horn sound, 1:25 to go, timeout, likely in the favor for the Hornets. Perhaps Coach Prentice wanting to talk things over. We'll get the signal soon. Yep, that is Coach Prentice for the North Stars looking to talk things over with 1:25 to go. Obviously the intent now to just draw out the clock as they have a 2-goal lead. Owen, what changes do you think they have to make in order to maintain possession as this clock ticks away? Do you think they'll ever shoot the ball, or are they really just going to try and draw out this clock?
Well, Kyle, it seems they've almost killed almost 2 minutes now. We're just passing this ball around, drawing FM's defenders out. So if I'm CNS was last minute, 25 seconds, I just keep doing what I'm doing. Just don't make a silly mistake that'll let FM score 2 goals, maybe even 3 in this last minute and a half.
Absolutely. I mean, the Hornets can certainly score in spurts, too. We've definitely seen a couple spurts now where they put a couple goals away in less than 90 seconds. So you want to try and keep that ball away.
And if I'm an FM, I almost want to pull keeper, try and get even more pressure on CNS, see if they truly are just going to run this clock or just even at this point, you got to just try and get the ball back, be as aggressive as you can if I'm the FM Hornets.
And how risky do you think it is to pull keeper and get that double team with the speed on the North Stars offense?
Well, the way I see it, Kyle, you're losing nothing here. You're already down 2.5 minutes. CNS is almost stalling, just letting this game run the clock out. So you got to get pressure on that ball, try and force a turnover, and try and get 2 goals in under 1.5 minutes.
The Hornets certainly with quite the job under their belts. They held on to this game right until the last second, but now is the chance for them to kind of punctuate. Now, if the North Stars see that open goal and put that goal away, would you say the point is kind of moot for the Hornets?
I would say that, Kyle. I mean, if they can try and get a goal here quickly, if they get a quick stop, get the goal, and then get another one, win the draw, get the ball back, and score again, make this game 15-15, almost that'll probably bring us right into OT, and see if they can get the golden goal, and probably Ava Angelo would take that shot if this game is set into sudden death.
Nicole O'Neill stepping back into goal for the North Stars, but right now the focus on the young goalkeeper for the Hornets. The North Stars maintaining the possession for the last couple of minutes now and looking to draw out the rest of the clock. A 15-13 lead. Fran Tortora to start it. Out to Molly Molchanoff. That's number 17, Kat Amico, the D2 Lemoyne commit on defense on the fleet-footed Molly Molchanoff. Molly headed into this game with 17 goals, 5 assists. She's tacked on a couple since then. Definitely a few with the penalties. Kat Amico chasing. Now there's Brooke Molchanoff. Defended by Amico. Rolling out right side. The clock strikes 60. And a 2-goal lead for the North Stars. You have to imagine they'll pull keeper soon as there's another whistle on the field. Meanwhile, Iannotti readying up on the sideline to step out in the midfield and perhaps help on defense if needed. Little buddy pass out to Molchanoff. She'll flick back to Fran Tortora to slow things down. Molchanoff and Tortora kind of just playing some tag at this point. You see some open sticks right in front of the crease, but they elect not to go for it. Molchanoff out to Tortora. Simply just going back and forth at this point. They still haven't pulled keeper yet for the Hornets. And you have to imagine accepting defeat at this point. The North Stars with a 15-13 lead. Still creating some space for the North Stars, and what a possession they've created down in this final stretch. Another whistle on the field, 7 seconds to go. And at this point, Owen, you have to accept it. The point is kind of moot. The Hornets down 2 goals, 7 seconds to go, and really, what has led us up to this point is just this possession time that finally has fell in the favor of the North Stars, winning draws down the stretch and being able to move this ball around and display what they've been doing currently in this past possession, which is just slowing things down. So as the clock strikes 0, a 15-13 win, the North Stars extend to 8-1, staying at the top of the SCAC Metro. We mentioned it before, the FM Hornets trying to keep their head above water, and quite the performance they showed tonight, but nonetheless still fall short. They'll go to 2-7. Owen, there was possessions back and forth that showed that the Hornets had what it took to kind of, end up on the right side of this series, but nonetheless, the North Stars get the season sweep on the Hornets, 3-0 on the season against the Hornets, 8-1 as I mentioned. What keys to this game do you think were so important for the North Stars to get away with this close win tonight?
Well, Kyle, one thing I noticed is that I said CNS needs to contain Ava Angelo and don't force shots. And look, they didn't force that many shots on offensive shots. They took seemed to be great-looking shots. They did the best they could trying to contain Angelo, And then also FM, they kept up the pace, had good possession. It seemed like they ran their plays efficiently. They just couldn't get the job done today against this powerhouse in CNS offense.
Powerhouse, to say the least. Speaking of powerhouses, Fran Tortora, quite the performance tonight. 5 goals, a couple assists to tack onto that. Definitely one of the leaders in both categories. But speaking of leaders, you can't forget on that losing team, and the FM Hornets, Johns Hopkins commit in the junior, Ava Angelo. I mean, 35 goals, 1 assist headed into this matchup, tacked on a couple assists and definitely a few goals into that category. She was quite the leader in the field tonight. You can't forget Caliandro adding to that, the young freshman getting the job done for the Hornets. But again, they fall short. So thank you guys for tuning in. You can't forget next week, the 20th at Liverpool, the next time the North Stars will match up. And of course, for the FM Hornets, you can't forget the 25th, the Beeville Bees matching up with the FM Hornets. So thank you guys for tuning in. This was Kyle Marshak alongside Owen O'Keefe. Tune in next week for some more successful North Stars lacrosse.